Morning. Hey, so I had some things in my heart and my mind this morning that I wanted to share with you along the lines of crisis. I've got some very, very dear friends that are in the middle of some pretty severe crisis right now. And anytime I see people I love go through deep waters, difficult things, I always think back about things that my most difficult time, 16 years ago, actually this month, when we were in some pretty severe crisis. And for us, we had gone through this really messy thing down south in Southern California, and had moved up here to Oregon, but it was a last minute choice. And so I had called a friend who had a rental house up here, and I'm like, hey man, is there any chance we can just crash at that place for a little bit? And he said, yeah, no problem, but it's not furnished. We're trying to sell it. So for the next month, Megan and I and my 4 young kids all slept on the floor. We were so poor, we didn't have like sleeping bags or anything. All we had was these like fleece, super cheap sleeping bags from Walmart, and we were sleeping straight on the ground for a month. And I remember we took a sheet and we would spread it out across the kitchen floor and have our meals on this sheet. And I remember all the kids had was one of those little tiny screens for watching videos, like a 4x4 screen, and all of them would just lay on the ground and watch videos on it. And I remember I was in so much emotional turmoil that it was crisis. It was tough, but we got out of it. And as I look at my life now here in Oregon, some 16 years later, I just think, thank God for that crisis. Thank God for that thing that projected us forward, something that I couldn't have seen coming, something that was really difficult even now for me to process through, stuff that brings emotion right back to the surface as soon as I start talking about it. But I made it through, and you're gonna make it through. If you're in crisis today, you're gonna make it through. And it's hard to see it now, and I'm not gonna tell you it's easy, but I will say this, that you will get on the other side and you'll look back and say, I'm grateful actually for going through those deep waters, because they made me who I am. That season humbled me. That season changed me from the inside. That season brought Megan and I together tighter than ever, and it made us stand as a family here where we didn't know hardly anybody in Southern Oregon. It made us stand as a unit that was just us, and it was beautiful, and it's the best thing that could have ever happened to us. So I know it's hard to frame it that way in your mind today if you're going through a crisis, but just know this, it has the potential to be the best thing that ever happened to you if you'll just trust the process and that you're gonna go through it. It's gonna be painful, it's gonna be tough. I'm not gonna try and minimize your pain today, but you're gonna make it through. Don't lose heart. Praying for you today, pray for my friends, man, praying for planet Earth. I know it's a scary time with everybody panicking about viruses and things going around, but God's in control and He's got you in His hand, and no matter the crisis, we're gonna make it through. So God bless you guys, have a good morning.